This is another update on the Hyper Scrambler. I have installed Odi hand grips. They are much better than the stock ones, and they were pretty easy install. Of course, the handlebars, the BMX style. There's the other Odi grip. I just remember them from when I was a kid in my BMX days, so I thought I'd go with that brand. I always remembered they were pretty good. New stem, 346. I don't know what that means, but it's a darn good one. Much better than the one that came on the bike. I feel like this is a very solid handlebar setup now, a lot more so than before. So I'm very happy about that. Of course, the front number plate that we put on there to match the rear numbers that we installed. What else have we done? Oh, down here, put in these rear foot pegs. These are El Cheapy from eBay, black color, match the bike nicely. Had to modify the bracket to fit this narrow bar, so be aware that that is not an easy install. And oh, they're not exactly tight. I might have to fix that. Yeah, that's not good. So it's kind of half-assed. I understand the new Hyper Scramblers, or the new Scramblers, have an extra bracket here with holes to install normal pegs, which would be great. What else? I always tie the key on the handlebar just so that I know where it is. I might have mentioned that in another video, but something that I always do, just so I know where she is when I want to head out. Got a little bit of riding in. Well, actually I didn't, because I didn't have handle grips on the damn bike. The originals right there, I stripped them out trying to reinstall them when I put this handlebar on. And so just cheap metal, I think, on the screws. Stripped the shit out of them, so I couldn't I guess I could have ridden it without handle grips, but it's much more comfortable with, and these seem beefier and really grippy ODI rubber, so that's good. Of course, I've got the quad lock for the phone. Other than that, the bike seems to be running pretty good. The wobble is gone in the headset. I love that. The battery lasts a long time. I love that. And it's faster than balls. And I mean fast. It is a fast bike. This is the Hyper Scrambler, of course, from Juiced Bikes. Be aware, turn off torque mode is my recommendation to you. When I first got the bike, torque mode was on, and I lifted the front tire off the ground quickly, and it was scary. My bike mechanic was riding this bike on a test run, and he put it in torque mode, and I don't know if you can see there, but he screwed up my pedal. He's gonna replace it. It doesn't even really spin anymore. It's all bent to shit. He's gonna replace it with a better. Lost one of the reflectors, broke that reflector. I don't know if you can see that. There you go. And grinded the hell out of the pedal. And that's another reason, grinded the heck out of my old handlebars. And so I stripped them, taken them off. And then I ordered these ODI ones from Amazon, and they came without the mounting screws. So that was a bit of a pain in the ass. I just got them back tonight. They shipped them out in one day, thank goodness. So there's the old ones. And they're nothing to write home about. I mean, they're okay, but I think that these screws right here were wacky and got stripped big time. So spare parts, I guess. You can see the grindage right there also. That's what caused me to change them for the most part, and these are definitely an upgrade. So he's ordered me new pedals. They should be in this week, and they're going to be an upgrade as well from the pedals that are on there. So basically, the things I've changed is added these folding foot pegs the numbers, the battery pack, and charging cable to go to the phone when it's plugged into the quad lock. The stem down there, beefier, much better. The handlebars, the BMX style, the handle grips. And oh, while we're at it, here is the Super 73 Rose Ave. And I'll see if I can arrange them together with one hand for you, so you can get an idea of size difference. So, first thing, the Super 73 Rose Ave is made of steel frame. So it is a ton heavier. I mean a ton heavier than this bike. This Hyper Scrambler is much lighter. Considerably lighter. Not much lighter. It's considerably lighter though. Same size tires. Of course, the Hyper Scrambler has shocks. Has a bigger, better battery pack than the, I don't know, is this 48 volt or 36 volt? I can't even remember. And that's 52 on the Hyper Scrambler. And of course, the Hyper Scrambler has the 1100 watt motor, and the Super 73 has a 500 watt motor, which are almost the same size, strangely enough. I do like the kickstand on the Super 73. I love that it lifts the front tire right off the ground, holds the bike really secure. Not to say that that kickstand on the Hyper Scrambler doesn't work, but I prefer that middle section type one. I guess I could mount one in there if I had to somehow. I'm sure it's possible. What have we modified on this one? Oh, we put in these rear foot pegs that fold up. There was a generous mounting point here on the bike. The only problem with these ones is they don't stay up. It'd be nice if they stayed up, but they snap back down. And so you risk banging your legs on these, but they're pretty solid and they're pretty good. Got the Fender Upgrade Kit on this bike. Ordered it. Need it in Vancouver because it gets wet here. Had to zip tie extra support onto this one because it was flapping around a lot. The battery pack was loose in the front, so I zap strapped right in there just to hold it in place a little bit better. Bottle cage. Oh, rear seat, which is giving me problems right now. Gonna have to figure out that. I think I lost some hardware. Loctite will help. So the back seat, which helps. The nice thing about the Hyper Scrambler and Scramblers in general is that you've got a nice long seat versus the 73 Super 73 Rose Ave with a short seat. So we put this extended seat on it just to give my passenger a little bit of space. And then I got these funky red lights, which I have another set, and I might install them on the other bike because they look really cool at night. I think when you're going fast, it just looks like a red laser. So that's kind of cool, and they're easy to throw on. I forget the name of these things, bright lights or something. Can't remember. Again, just tie the key on the handlebar so I know where it is when I want to go. This light always gives me problems. I'm constantly tightening it to try and it gets loose and it slides down, and it happens frequently. So that's a bit of a problem with this one. As far as the lights go, the light on the Hyper Scrambler is much brighter. We did a comparison test the other day. It's wicked bright compared to the Rose Ave Super 73. The rear light on this bike is not as bright as the rear light on the Hyper Scrambler also. And comparisonly, you can see, I think that gives you a little bit of an idea. So the Hyper is a much higher bike. I can touch very easily full flat foot sitting on the Rose Ave, and in fact my legs aren't even extended. When I get on the Hyper Scrambler, I'm touching tippy toes, and I am 5'11", so I'm not exactly a short dude. So just be aware of that. It is a very tall bike, that Hyper Scrambler. Very tall. What else can I tell you? I plan to go down to Grin Technologies. I'm very lucky to have them operating out of my hometown. And I am going to get them to hopefully make me a cable so I can plug into the Rose Ave battery and charge it with the cycle satiator. Essentially, I just need a wire. This one is set up for the Hyper Scrambler. It's like a 3-pin idea. I'm going to get another cable, I hope, from them that has this adapter on the end, and then I can charge both from the cycle satiator, which I think is far superior. I plan to start charging to about 85-90%, and hoping to extend my battery life a little bit. Eventually I feel like I'm gonna want to get a double for both bikes. Actually, I wouldn't mind having a spare battery for each bike. I could, you know, charge it at the house while I'm riding, come back, swap out, keep going. That's my thinking, but I don't know if it's necessary, especially with the Hyper Scrambler. That thing seems to give me incredible range. This one, actually, I get pretty good range on the Rose Ave too, but not quite as much as the Hyper. So there's a little comparison of the two for you, side by side. Hopefully next weekend I'll be able to get them outside if the weather's nice, and do a little test run footage or something. But oh yeah, and I've got the other, this is the bicycle mount for the quad lock. It's on the Super 73 Rose Ave, and then this is the motorcycle mount on the Hyper Scrambler. The same thing, they just plug into the back of the phone case and lock it in real nice. I've got a bell on this one, and because this handle cluster is so busy, I don't have a place that I can actually put the bell, I don't think, on this one. So I'd like to put a bell on this one because I think it helps to avoid collisions. Anyway, there's the two bikes side by side for your comparison. Tires seem very similar, if not exactly the same. Kenda's. This one doesn't have the writing, however. Kenda Crusader. Patterns are similar but not exact. I believe these are Kenda tires. I could be wrong. I believe they are though. And they're the same size, which is nice. So I've got extra tubes, 20 by 4 inch, so that I can swap out if I have to. I did put slime in all the tires on both bikes. I've got that slime stuff in there in case we get a flat on the road. And I'll wrap this video up, gang, and I hope you enjoy it. There's the two bikes side by side with some of the mods that we have done. And oh, I do have the Fender kit coming for the Hyper Scrambler. As I said, it rains a lot here and gets muddy, so having the Fender kit is essential, I think, here in Vancouver. I can't wait for it to arrive. We need it because it's going to start getting wet here. So yeah, there you go, folks. Enjoy. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.